Hey guys, it's All About Art here, and I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to draw your Roblox character two different ways. You can follow this tutorial traditionally or digitally, it's up to you. I am using a Samsung S6 tablet and Clip Studio Paint, which I got off the Galaxy App Store, but you could literally just follow this tutorial with a piece of paper and a pencil. It's up to you. Just use whatever you have on hand. Please don't feel bad about whatever materials you have. The only reason I have a fancy tablet is because it's something I got with my own hard-earned art commission money. So just literally use whatever you have on hand. This isn't like a strict tutorial or anything. Just have fun with it. But if you don't have a lot of money and you want to get into digital art, you can get a Huion tablet for like $30 to $50 off Amazon. That is a pretty steep price for most younger artists though, but it's just the cheapest way to get into it. You are going to want to pull up a reference image of your character and also a pose that you want to draw, so I'm going to show you how to do that now. You can go on roblox.com, go to your profile, and literally just download a 2D image of your character. And I show you how to do that here. But it turns out I wanted to draw a different version of my characters, so you're going to see me go to my avatar here and pull up a different outfit. And there she is, and you can download there. And now I'm going to go to Pinterest, and this is where I like to find most of my poses. Now for beginner artists, the best thing you're going to want to do is to find a basic pose to draw. You're not going to want to draw something like this where it has a bunch of crazy angles or anything. It's just going to be very frustrating for you and extremely hard to draw. You want to find something very basic, not like that. Something very basic. Kind of like front facing would probably be best. Here is the one I actually found, which was really fun to draw actually. But do whatever you're comfortable with. Nobody's stopping you from drawing a harder pose. I'm just saying if you're going to do this, I recommend trying to find a basic pose to draw. So the first thing we're going to do is try to draw a style similar to Roblox. And in order to do this, we have to figure out what the character looks like. So you're going to want to pull up the image of your character, whether you're drawing traditionally or digitally. Pull it up on your phone or your computer or whatever. Even if you have a mouse, just like literally trace over the image of your character. And you're not just tracing over the entire image. What we're doing is we're going to try and trace out the 3D shapes so we can figure out what they would look like in a different pose. So you can see here I'm actually drawing out cylinders and like the squares and all that, all the different kinds of angles and edges. So this is what my character looks like now that I have it pulled up. And you can see what shapes she's made out of. This allows me to find other poses to draw her in. So hopefully that made sense. It might take you a couple tries, but you basically have to think of her or him in like basically like an ice cube, like try to make them out of ice cubes. Hopefully you guys have done some kind of like 3D art thing before in the past, but yeah, it takes some practice, so don't feel bad. Now I trace over the actual pose that I wanted to draw in, and that allows me to like try and imagine what it would be like to have those shapes in that pose. So just trace over both of them. If you're drawing traditionally, just trace over them on your laptop or computer or whatever, and then just have that in front of you while you're drawing on your paper. So now you can see I'm trying to figure out how these shapes would look together. Yes, and it does help to make like kind of like a ruler. Like don't try to just eyeball how big everything is. Try to compare like how big is the head to the body, like how long are the legs in comparison to the arms, that kind of thing. Try not to draw your character too boxy. Try to use more squishy shapes because it'll seem more natural and not lifeless. The most important thing when trying to do any kind of cartoon is just try and keep it loose. Don't draw too hard with your hand, and don't be afraid to redraw it multiple times. Don't feel bad if it doesn't look right on the first try. If you're drawing traditionally, try to draw very light, not hard, because that'll allow you to erase it and redraw it. You can see here I have a very rough drawing of her right now, and it's looking like not the greatest, so you'll see it gets really extremely adjusted later on, so don't feel bad if the first version doesn't look right. So the reason I'm doing this tutorial is because I've actually been drawing a lot of Roblox characters lately, and I've been sharing it on like Reddit and the Roblox Amino and such, and I got like over 1,000 likes on Reddit, and I was just like so happy about that. That was like absolutely insane, and I really appreciate all the feedback and everything everybody gave me, and yeah, I just wanted to show my process and stuff and hopefully help out some younger artists be able to draw some Roblox characters as well. If you guys would like to follow me, I am at AldabearArt on most of my social media like Instagram and DeviantArt and such. I'm most active on my Instagram and also Amino pages, But if you want to follow me on Reddit, I'm u/aldabear, and the only reason that's not like the others is just because I use Reddit for more than just my art. So you'll see here that I'm actually flipping the canvas, and you can do this traditionally as well by taking a photo and just flipping the photo of your art. But basically the reason I do this is because it allows you to see your art at a different angle. It gives you new perspective on it, and it'll help you spot mistakes really easily actually. So I recommend that you flip your canvas a lot. Now you can try to copy Roblox's style like to the T if you want, but that's no fun. Honestly, it helps to like try to make your own style, put your own spin on things. It's just easier than trying to copy each and every pixel to the exact like decimal. So literally just have fun with it. If you want to like make your hair a little more swishy, or I don't know, just like do whatever the heck it is that you want with it. Like you can see that rather than just like painting on the skirt, I like actually drew it out to fluff it out and stuff like that. So just like put your own spin on things. Alright, and now moving on to the inking stage. If you're drawing traditionally for like the first time ever or whatever, you can use like a ballpoint pen or Sharpie or whatever you have on hand. When I'm drawing digitally, just like out of pure preference, I like to actually ink my art with a pencil tool rather than a pen tool. It just looks a little too hard for me. I prefer the look of the pencil. And you can see here that I actually added in a neck to my character. I don't know if she actually has one in the model. All ROBLOX characters have like different like shapes, obviously. So yeah, I just added in a neck because it seemed more natural with the pose and everything, because she had her head tilted up. But just, again, wing it. If there's something you're not sure about, just do what you think would look best. If you would like me to draw your Roblox character, commissions are currently open, but requests are closed. So you can contact me on my Instagram, or just tap on the link in my bio to request a commission. Now, I will say this multiple times during this video, I hate drawing ruffles. I pull up references on Google every single time I draw them, and I've always had a problem drawing ruffles. Like, I've drawn them for a very long time now, since I've been drawing my Roblox character since I was in middle school, but I just hate drawing ruffles. I mean, it's something I always want to work on more, but yeah, I hate drawing ruffles. So if you're coloring digitally, if you're a beginner, one of the things I recommend is that you literally just color pick using like the little color picker tool there on the avatar image of your character. It's just easier because like you'll kind of learn what colors go well together and stuff. But basically, if you're a beginner, you can either do that, or you can pull up like a color palette off Google and like try to color your image based off that. It's whatever works for you, but yeah, sometimes it's easier than trying to pick your own colors, because beginners have a tendency to pick too saturated colors. And yeah, so like one of the things you want to avoid is like using like bright neon colors. I'll show you here. You want to try to avoid those colors. And if you're coloring in, you're going to want to try to avoid using too much black. It's fine to have like a black liner and some black spots on your character, like you can see the eyeballs there, but try to avoid using pure black. And you're also going to make sure that you fill in all the little white gaps. It'll make your artwork look more finished and less messy. It's never a good idea to leave in all those little white gaps. Be sure to take the time to fill it in. And just try to avoid using too much pure black in your art. You can shade with it a little bit, but don't try to like shade your skin tone in with black. You want to try to use like a more orangey color and stuff. Hopefully that makes sense. But basically, when you're coloring in things, unless it's like already a gray toned item, don't try to use black for all your shading, because it's just going to look kind of dull and like blurry and gross. So coming up here, we're going to have a little tiny bit of a time skip. I just started on my shading, but basically I realized my recorder wasn't recording, because I tend to pause my video a lot due to the fact that I have a husband who interrupts me a lot. So there is a little bit of shading done. Oops. But yeah, I'm not done with it yet. It's just you can see a little bit of this stuff skipped. But try not to use the blur tool too much when you're shading. I use like a paintbrush tool when I'm coloring in things. But I do use the blend tool and like the blend blur tool, but I try not to use that on everything, because you are going to want some harsh lines in some areas. This is just stuff you kind of learn as you go with digital art and also traditional art, but it's It's something that takes practice and just intuition, but yeah, just like a little tip there. Try not to use the blur tool too much. And you can see I'm using a lot of layers to like color in the classes and stuff. So we're coming to a close on the first style here, which is like similar to Roblox style, and I'm adding in the highlights. So I hope you guys like this first part of the tutorial, but now we're going to move on to like the anime style. So here I'm pulling up the pose to draw the anime character. I want to make something clear before we get into it. It's okay to trace over poses. It's not okay to trace over other people's artwork, so please keep that in mind when you guys are doing this. But basically, you can either trace over the pose if you're a beginner, or you can take the image, put it to the side, and draw from it and try to like copy it. But basically, I'm just going to draw it manually, freehand it, and yeah. Now, I'm showing you guys how to turn your Roblox character into an anime character, but I'm not giving a detailed tutorial on how to draw an anime character here. I'm mainly just showing you how you would go about, like, referencing your Roblox character. So, if you guys want, like, a detailed anime tutorial, I'm probably not the person to do that. You can find lots of tutorials on YouTube on how to draw anime characters, and there's lots of books and stuff. I'm just probably not the person to do that because I am not confident in my own art style yet enough. I mean, I'm finally finding stuff that I like about my style, but I'm still pretty rough on my anatomy and stuff, so I would not like recommend following me for like a detailed anime character drawing tutorial. When I say I spent time on this skirt, I'm telling you, I spent time on this skirt. I mean, I redrew it 8 billion freaking times. But one of the best things I can tell you guys is when you get frustrated with a piece of your art, it helps to just save your work and come back to it later because you'll come back to it with a pair of fresh eyes. It's kind of like flipping the canvas. Sometimes it helps to just like leave it be and come back and redo it later. And here you can see I'm finally getting closer to the final design of it, and it's looking a lot better. If there's a certain part of something that you don't know how to draw, something I recommend is trying to pull up reference images up on Google, or if it's like a specific Roblox model, a good thing would be to do is to pull up that model up on Roblox because you'll be able to see a 3D rendering of it and turn it around and try and see it at all different angles to learn how to draw it. And right here is when I started adjusting her body more, trying to make it look more proportionate. As always, I am a person who struggles with hands. I draw them as much as possible, but, you know, constant struggle. You can see here I'm adjusting her body a lot, though, trying to make it look a lot less wonky. This last character is less of a how-to on how to draw Roblox characters, more of just like a how I, because there's not a whole lot of details I can give you guys on how to draw your character as an anime character, because it just requires previous experience drawing anime characters, and that's something you just learn with practice and stuff. But something I really recommend is trying to make it look more cartoony whenever possible, because it is a Lego character in the end. Well, not a Lego character, but you guys know what I mean, like it's a blockish shape. So something that's really just important to remember that when you're drawing them, even as like a humanoid, is to try to find things that would make them look more cartoony. Like I try to give her like really like exaggerated hair, and I try to make her eyes look like really cutesy and stuff. And as you can see, I'm going through the exact same process I did on the last character. When it comes to coloring, it's all the same. I actually forgot the glasses in one of my recent artworks, so like now I'm being like extra careful to remember the glasses whenever I draw any of my avatars, because like somebody noticed other than just me, so now that bothers me. Like I gotta remember the glasses every single time. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below if you have any video requests. Alright, bye.